Hi, I'm Paul and welcome to Zilla Cabs. Here at Zilla, we believe your tone doesn't just lie in your guitar, amp and pedals, but in your cab and speaker choice too. In this video, we're going to look at Celestion's range of AlNiCo speakers. We're going to look at how they sound through various amp and gain settings, and we're going to quickly discuss their different tonal characteristics and physical restrictions. Before we get started with a nice mid-gain track, I'd like to ask a big favour. We spend loads of time on these videos and have some great ideas in the pipeline, so if you haven't already, we'd love it if you hit the notification icon and subscribe to the channel. Without going too deep into the history or the science of AlNiCo speakers, AlNiCo is a compound of aluminium, nickel and cobalt, and is the material that was predominantly used back in the day at the birth of modern guitar speakers. And that's probably why they're more associated with vintage tones. But hopefully in this video, especially in the next section, we're going to see that doesn't have to be the case. Let's listen to all four speakers in a more modern rock setting. So far we've heard the four speakers in a mid to higher gain settings. The reason we do this are the subtle tonal characteristics become a little bit more apparent when there's a little bit of gain around. You've probably noticed that the AlNiCo Blue is the warmer of the four speakers. Often people describe it as having a bell-like chime. I think they're normally referring to the upper mids and the higher frequencies. But for me, the thing that's really useful about this speaker is the warmth that it has in the low end. That makes it really useful when you're putting it in a smaller open back cab or combo. The AlNiCo Cream is probably the most aggressive of the four speakers. So again, it's probably not that surprising that it's more favoured by modern players. And the Ruby and the Gold have more grit in the sound. So that becomes more useful for players working around the edge of breakup. At this point, I think it's worth saying the Ruby is the least favoured of the four, but for me, it's a really cool speaker to mix in with something else. There's something about that grit in the mid-range that just sounds great when it is put with something else, and hopefully we're going to hear that later on. As a lot of you will have come here to hear these speakers clean, we're going to now go into a really nice clean track, and we're going to follow it up by something much heavier. as always, we can't just look at the speaker without considering the cabinet it's in. So in this case, we used our Mini Modern with an open back for the lower gain tracks and the clean tracks. For the slightly higher gain stuff and the heavy stuff, we've used our Super Fat Boy with all 3 panels fit, so it's working as a closed back, keep the low end nice and tight. And for the mix at the end, we have used our oversized 4x12. Now, you've probably guessed at Zilla we like mixing speakers, and I like saving that mix to the end. But in this case, it's not actually very common to mix AlNiCo speakers. So I've taken this chance to do one of my favorite mixers, and it's super rare, especially in a 4x12, and that's the blue with the ruby. Now, earlier you heard me say that the blue's nice and warm, nice low end, and that the ruby is a good speaker to mix with stuff, but it's super gritty in the mid-range. So those 2 qualities mixed together, I just love it, and I took the chance to do this. At the start of these videos, we play a piece of audio of a specific speaker, but purposely don't tell you which one it is. We want you to learn to identify certain tonal characteristics each speaker has and leave a comment to tell us which speaker you think it is. As always, I want to sign things off by saying a massive thanks to the guys that provided us with DI tracks. They're Tom Quayle, John Cordy, Joss Allen and David Page. For the technical specs on the speakers and the cabs, check out the description below or see my blog on the website. And until next time, stay cool, hang tough and riff hard.